All right. So, yeah, guys. Finally, after like 2 months of trading, and 13 blown accounts. Sorry about the background. So I was able to pass my Apex evaluation. So it's my first time passing an account, an evaluation. So it's been really, really great. Um, After being down, up, blowing accounts, close to passing, blowing another account, just needed 500. Actually, I had like this week I had three accounts with just 500 remaining for my for passing the evaluation, but due to some personal problems, I was like got out of hand. Trading got out of hand. So Monday I blew one account, losing my 2,500 profit, and then yesterday um, got heated again. So again, it got out of hand. Trading nonstop for like almost half of the entire session, and I over traded both accounts. Then I was not really thinking about my last account, which is close to passing. So what I did is when I blew that account yesterday, I had like a realization that I needed to stop clicking on the buttons and start thinking. So I was able to like control myself. And yesterday I had like uh, like a few trades on my last account. I was initially down. My stop loss got hit, but I did revenge trading, to be honest, and I didn't trust the levels that I was aiming for. But then on my last trade, I did trust my level, and I was able to pull it up from red to green, and then eventually I was able to like control myself in trading, and yeah, I continued to look for an A plus setup for today. So let me show you the, my progress. So this hasn't been updated yet. It's going to be updated after hours. So I just needed like um, $304 for me to pass the eval. And today I was able to hit that with the trade that I oh, it's not showing up. Sorry. Okay, so I'll be sharing my screen. So this is the trade that I did today. I waited for the best setup. So I was thinking of like a bearish um, bias today because of the PPI news, which is a big miss. So I was like, my plan was to uh, to retest this psychological level. As you can see here, it's actually the uh, the low of day, and it's a whole number. Yes, you can see it's at 23,900, and the the lower zone of the of that level is at 2384.85, which is the lowest end of yesterday. So I waited for the right setup because what happened with my blown account last Monday and yesterday is that I traded the open, which sometimes I win, sometimes I lose. But with the two accounts that I traded Monday and yesterday, I got I got cooked basically, and then I revenge traded until it got blown up. So for today, the bias is um, the bias for today is my bias for today is bearish due to again the PPI news, but it's evident with the last few weeks of trading sessions, it always go to the gap as what I have observed. So I I have two trade ideas for today, and I was supposed to follow my trading plan, which is the 15-minute orb, and yeah. So initially, I was waiting to fail this level, the low of the yesterday, to the whole psychological level of 23,900, and so I just waited. So in case that the level fails, I have confirmation of this is a strong supply level, and if it breaks out, I'll wait for it to retest or form a 15-minute orb. So what happened was I marked out the lowest, the low range of the 15-minute orb, and I waited for the high range of the 15-minute orb. And then I planned out my strategy if it's going to be the um, immediate retest of the 15-minute range high, or if it's gonna go down to the key psychological hold number, which is 23,900. So it eventually did break. I mean, break through the 15-minute high range, and it tested the psychological number, the Q level. Then it eventually went up. I could have I could have entered upon the close of this candle. Um, but before this candle has closed, I was actually like thinking if I'm gonna enter here, set a limit order at 23,900, or wait for it to close, or at least do a reversion candle like a doji or something, or a a, sh- a dragonfly doji at least, so I can have confirmation to enter here. But it got really bullish. It went into like a bullish engulfer, and if I entered, it's although it's a confirmation, it's gonna be a bit late for me. Although if I maintained this entry, because I have like a 10-point stop loss, which is kind of low. So if I'll set an entry here, I'll be stopped right away on 23,912, and then it retested way down to 23,904. So it's kind of not good if I retain my stop loss, but I mean retain my position because I'll be stopped. Or since this is there's a change in structure, I could have exited here for a four sorry 6 point stop, 6 point profit, and yeah, and then I could have re-entered upon like touching the key psychological level. Now, while these candles are forming, I drew a trend line from here to here, and then initially it was like this. So it's not really that effective, and that is why I always move the trend line on the best position so I can have a better analysis. So what I did is I aligned my trend line here so we can see this. This is hitting the trend line, the resistance trend line. It's zooming out. And okay, and then so I waited for a confirmation of a breakout coming from this level. So as you can see, it's now forming a descending triangle from this line, the key level. But on the bigger picture, what you will see is that it formed a flag. So it's another confluence. If it will hold above 2300, there's a high possibility of it to break out. So I was waiting for a touch of on this level, but it didn't happen. Um, it just stayed and maintained the 50 EMA and the 300 EMA, which is for me it's much better if I can touch the level so I can enter, since this is gonna be like the the consol the tightest consolidation before it breaks out or it breaks down. And the reason why I I did not enter a trade yet from this level is because of this candle. It went down to 23,897. These previous candles um, touched the 96 level. So I was thinking that it might still go down to this level, even up to into this level, which will likely be the best entry for me. Um, so that is the psychology behind how I traded today. And by the way, as you can see here, it's I got 366, which I only needed $304. So um, I'm not using the DOM in here. I'm not using the DOM, which can show the approximate or the actual um, target amount. So I was like just adjusting and adjusting my stop loss. I mean, take profit. Okay, so that's why I didn't enter here. But when I uh, when I knew that it's a confirmed breakout, the difference in between these candles, um, this candle, and this candle is that this is a confirmation of my thesis, which and it will be breaking out. It's a bull flag and it's gonna break out. And so the difference between this and this and this is that I waited for candle closure on this candle, and these candles I also waited for confirmation if they will close above the trend line, the resistance trend line, because sometimes it's gonna be a fake out, even if there's a few seconds remaining, like 10 seconds remaining, or even 1 second remaining. Sometimes they will like pull you down. So that is why it's really important for you to wait for candle closures. So false breakout, then it went down and waited for further confluence, further confirmation, further support from this level. But when it broke out, I knew I knew it's gonna be it. Although although there's not much of a volume in this candle, what happened was when it broke out, I entered on this level when it closed out. So if you can see, my stop loss is at 23,914 and my take profit is 23,944. I'm not really sure about the amount, the approximate amount that um, I'm getting, but if I stayed with my take profit, it's probably less than 300, or let's say at 300. So what I did is I kept on adjusting my take profit level until it hit. So I was actually surprised because it was at this level when I was holding, when I placed my last TP, and then I was adjusting it, and it would like pop, it popped up. So I was like, oh man, thank you, Lord, I passed. And yeah, so I passed. Um, Hopefully, when I activate this account, I will be able to sustain it. And now, on a continuation, if in case I still continue to trade, since um, my main strategy actually is 15-minute orb. So this is the line of the high of the 15th minute. And if I'll continue trading, like if I reach this one, if, for example, I'm not trying to take my profit. So after seeing this candle, this doji candle, and this like sort of gravestone candle, I know that there will be some sort of somehow a reversal, because as per my experience in price action, like most of the time that when I see two doji candles and like a small gravestone or a small dragonfly, it tends to it tends to reverse. If it's not going to reverse, it's going to go still on the same direction. So if I continue my trade, I could have closed my position on this doji candle because it's a heavy sign of reversal, and with another like doji gravestone or whatever. Is there a gravestone? Anyway, a doji with a small body. So there's based on my experience, there's a high chance of reversal, and so I'll cut my trade here. I'll take profit in here, and then I will look for another entry, which is the 15-minute range high. And so if I trade that, it's going to be a breakout for sure. Now, if I'll have like multiple contracts on my order, my first TP, my first take profit will be here at the top of the initial um, range. So we'll need to test that out. And then, as you can see, it the 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 support is really strong, and there's a candle confirmation that it's a valid 15-minute orb. So it could have either entered here, but that's actually dangerous upon closing of this candle because it's above the 15-minute range high. And the best entry is actually here on the close of this candle, and you need to set your stop loss either below this candle or this candle below this candle. But again, since I have a very tight stop loss, I'm actually really close to being stopped out if I enter this trade. So if you're gonna take this trade, the risk of entering on a high on a big on an engulfing candle is when you set your stop loss, it's gonna be very low. So you have to accept the risk if you're gonna do that. And as for me, um, one thing that I'm really bad about is adjusting my stop loss, especially if I'm trading on like those confirmation candles. Of course, confirmation candles are big candles with uh, with stop losses that you need to adjust on very much lower. Since I only have a 10-point stop loss, it's gonna be hard for me to like stay if it tested the low of the range. But most of the time, what they do, most orb traders do, is just a little below the wick. And so, yeah, if I'll do this by limit, it's almost near the end of the wick of the next candle. So with that, I could have been very scared. So if you're very conservative with your trades, like you can still wait for another candle to close and look at the volume that was traded. And so, um, yeah, just carry on. But with this one, my typical entry is the close of this candle because I'm like assuming it will go up since it's been supported, and there are like how many candles that are wicks 1 2 3. It is a very long wicks, very long wicks, 1 2 very long wicks, meaning they swept this area this zone, and they kept on sweeping it. So with this one, I could have entered once this candle closed because I know there's a high potential, high probability that this trade will continue to go up since it's on a 15-minute range high, which my strategy. And then it just came up from a bull flag. So nothing goes straight up, nothing goes straight down. So it really needs somehow to retest. And yeah, this is a great retest, a mini flag, and then it went up. So when it broke this level, it should go up still to a key psychological level. So the next target will be 2400. And I'm just not sure what happened. This is probably the time. Oh, there was no news in this by this time. So just with the candles alone, as I told you, like these double downsided like sort of dojis. I guess I still consider them dojis. They signify a potential reversal, and it did. So it went down, really straight down, almost. Then it chopped along this trend line from the pre-market. So I created this line from the pre-market, and I also have a strategy which I call X marks the spot, which is either crossing um, when it changes character, when it changes character, and it's retested the trend lines, and wherever zone, if it's the lower zone that it's gonna retest, it will go down. If it's on the higher zone that it's gonna retest, it's gonna go up. So it's for me, I have that thing called the X marks the spot, which is very high probability with the past trades that I did, like in the past 2 3 weeks. This X marks the spot um, really works out. So there are terms that famous traders have that they have coined. Like for Lance B, it's the right side of the V. For me, or for other traders like Desi, it's break and retest, and it's actually there's a lot of people who call levels break and retest, but this certain trend in trend lines, I call it the X marks the spot. So it's really with how I've seen the market, it's very high probability. So where did this line come from? It came from this one, from the low of the PPI news that made a trend. So I just connected it and then made it longer. And then when there was a change character, like we did that was swept. So there's a lot of liquidity in here, and it was swept. So what happened was it tested the X marks the spot. Usually it hits this side. The best ones come in the middle of the two trend lines or after the trend lines for confirmation. Wait for confirmation candles. Make sure that you just don't enter trades um, immediately. So wait for confirmation. And this is a very bullish engulfing candle. And there's a potential for it to break out of the trend, but it didn't. It followed and stayed under the resistance trend. And if I'm going to enter the trend, the trade, if I'm going to put a trade, I'll wait for a rejection of this line. Usually it's from this range that happens. So if you're coming from above, it's like the best entry for me is the complete retest of this side in the middle. But for confirmation, of course, you have to wait for confirmation candles to close on the right side. So you know that there will be a trend following. And on the downside, of course, as you can see, the best trade is from the middle up to about 2 to 5 minutes if you're very conservative, 2 to 5 minutes, but it might be too late for if we get to it if we wait for 5 minutes. So yeah, that's okay. So yeah, so again, it went down. So if you're gonna enter here, target the at least this level or this level, but it went down further. Then it tested the low of that range, and then there was a reversal. Now, as you see, there's still a trend line. Now, for this trend line, I actually just drew it uh, after while it's forming. While it's forming, I drew that line, and yeah, once it breaks, it's either it's gonna go down further, or it's gonna break and go to the next target level, which is on this high, or on the psychological number, or the next supplier demand zone, or next support resistance zone. So when it went up, as you can see, it rejected, wasn't able to really break and hold the 2390 level. So this area is what is this area again? It's from this area, like never mind, I forgot what that is, but yeah, that's the target level. And so yeah, trade is still ongoing. I think the market's going to be closed in a few minutes. So yeah, that's basically how I passed my first Apex account, and wish me luck for me to be able to like grow this and to add up more accounts and get my payout. So thank you for um, joining me in my journey. I'm not sure when I'm gonna do a live again. Likely is I'll try to go live once in a while doing trades, and we'll see. So yeah, congratulations to me. And if you're green, I wish you more luck. If you're red, just focus on A plus setups and focus on risk management and psychology. Just if you can control self to a maximum of 2 trades a day, it's gonna be it's gonna be great. If you're a newbie like me, uh, focus on A plus setups. Do not revenge trade, and go on with the next day. So yeah, that's all I can say. That's how I pass this account, and I wish you luck.